I was just powering up and
An oath of allegiance to our new monarch, King Charles. We should stress it's not Charlie standing up and demanding it, but he's obviously given tacit approval to this. Now, you know me, I wish the coronation all the best. I wish King Charles all the best and Queen Camilla, and I hope everybody has a lovely day next Saturday. But I do think it's something strange and anachronistic about this monarch in 2023 demanding an oath of allegiance from us. I mean,
so that's the first thing. So apparently, a lot of the British journalists are up in arms about the fact that King Charles wants a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Okay, so they want I pledge allegiance to King Charles. Wow. That's heavy. And then when he passes away, whether it be in a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30, and William accedes, I pledge allegiance to William and Kate. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, and also I pledge allegiance to Camilla now, I guess, right? I mean, so they want the British people to take this pledge, and apparently a lot of the journalists and also people in the population are just like, are you nuts? It's 2023. What do you think this says? I mean, it's bad enough we're letting you continue to do this, but don't push your luck, darling. We're not pledging allegiance to you. I mean, look, my thing is, if you can have a king, you can totally have a you can totally pledge allegiance to that king. I mean, if you can have a king, you can genuflect to that king. I mean, I don't agree with this whole idea of kings and queens, as I have said repeatedly. So for me, obviously, pledging allegiance to anybody, any human being at this point in my life is kind of like, just nuts. I mean, it's just nuts. It's not even something I can even discuss with any rational, um, ideas. But that said, that's for the British people to sort out. Another thing that they were talking about today was Prince Harry, and they've been surmising that it's possible that he could actually skip the coronation altogether. And I can't hear anything. I'm not even sure why. Volume is up. I don't know why I can't hear. It's always something with this.
This monarch in 2023.
I don't. Let's move this
demanding
along.
an oath. It seems sort of medieval, doesn't it?
Let's go a little further up. I don't know where he started talking about Harry, and I thought it was so funny because it sounds like they're saying that Harry may pull out at the last minute, but we don't care because it's rather rude that he's come.
Or get up from your armchair when you're watching on TV and pledge, make this,
I don't know. Let's see if we can get this.
4 years old that day. But some would say that coming in and leaving so quickly is close to rudeness. It is close to rudeness. I mean, he's going to be flying in on a scheduled flight. We know not when. But on the return journey, it's supposed to be a private flight. Now, remember, this is the man who keeps telling you about carbon footprints and everything else. He's got a bigger carbon footprint than an elephant, to be perfectly honest. So he's going to head straight back to LA and Montecito. He may just be in time to sort of wish little Archie happy 4th birthday before he goes to bed. But you're right. I think it does strike an awful lot of rudeness. And there are people at the palace who are very concerned about Harry at the moment because.
Oops. What happened here? I do this all the time. Like, oh, I clearly could not do a live.
Kept in the dark about his plans. They don't know where he's going to stay. They don't know what time he's going to arrive. They don't even know what time he's going to leave. And some of them are saying it's easier to get through to Mars and quite easier to talk to Sinn Féin than it is to Harry, who seems to.
Well, so yeah, so they're a little bit perturbed that Harry has not given them very clear information about his exact whereabouts at all times. Harry's amazing. He's just so funny. He's so cute. I mean, he's up to them. He's up to them. And he's going to take care of himself. He's going to be very careful because he doesn't trust them. And he's right. I mean, in his position, I wouldn't even go. I mean, and look, I have said for months and months and months. Initially, I said to Harry and Meghan on this YouTube channel, respectfully decline the invite and do it early so that by this time, they wouldn't have been the main subject of conversation because the press would have had months and months to get over it. And a whole different mood would have taken over the coronation. People probably wouldn't even be talking about the coronation because Harry and Meghan were not going to be going. Okay. They didn't do that, and I think I know why. I mean, it's easy for me to say, don't do this, don't do that, but I mean, this is your father, right? This is your father. This is family, and it's not so simple. I totally, 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 totally get it. And so as time went on, I changed my tune. I'm like, okay, I mean, if you're going to be included as a part of the family, and if this is a chance for reconciliation with the family, and they're going to be open arms and conversations and teas and, lunches and dinners and just, beautiful, 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 and this beautiful ball and, my La La Land fantasy world. And I'm like, okay, in that case, okay, you can go, especially because, they recognize Lily and Archie as part of the family, as part of the natural, what's the word? The in line to the throne. What is that called? There's a word for it. I can't remember right now. And the succession to the throne. So they recognize that after Harry, did his he played some offense and he had the baptism and so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, maybe the fact that they didn't go to World War III over this, maybe we can try to work with them. But it seems like whatever happened behind the scenes, they weren't able to work with them. Harry wanted an apology, and I think he's owed an apology, and his wife, especially with the recent revelations about William's deal with Murdoch and all of these things, and how the media has been treating them, the silence of the family, etc. I think it's reasonable to expect an apology. That didn't happen. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure what discussions went on behind the scenes, but in the end, Meghan decided she would sit it out because it's her son's birthday and Harry would go to the coronation. But I mean, and I have gone back and forth on that because ultimately, I mean, King Charles, as I said, I have nothing against him. I mean, he's not my father, I think he's an imperfect father, but I think all fathers are imperfect. And so the decision really is up to his children. It's up to Harry whether he wants to go to his father's coronation or not. I mean, as a third party looking in who has absolutely, I've never even met any of these people, it just seems to me that, I had two minds on this. With my head, I said the optics, it's your dad, etc., etc., you're a duke, etc., etc., you should go. Okay. But then with my heart, I felt like, his dad was not sufficiently supportive. He did not publicly rebuke the press for mauling Harry's wife and disrespecting Harry for 5 years. He tossed Harry and Meghan out of their home at Frogmore Cottage, even though Harry and Meghan had paid $2.4 million to renovate Frogmore Cottage and had a reasonable expectation that they would continue to have Frogmore as a second home for as long as they continue to pay their charges and rents or whatever. And he gave this to Eugenie or Beatrice or one of Andrew's children who is a BFF with Harry and Meghan's arch enemy. For me, this is like, whoa, this is something that is a pill that was too much. I couldn't swallow that one. And, given Harry's lawsuit and different things like that, I thought, what? Why are you going to put yourself into this kind of risk for 24 hours to prove allegiance to your father when really your father, I don't think allegiance is something he cares about, obviously. I mean, it's not, it's just so complicated because I keep saying, oh, I have nothing against King Charles. And I really don't. There's a part of me that just, I just look at him and I can't hate him. You know what I mean? I don't have enough reasons to hate him. But I mean, as a dad, I just think that he could have done better in some instances. But there are other moments when I think he stepped up as well. That all said, I wouldn't have gone to the coronation under these circumstances. I would have sought a way to have a private family meeting with my father and with my family that had nothing to do with this public state paid for coronation. This is a state event paid for by the British state. It's governmental, it's parliamentary. It has to do with my father's work. I'm looking for a family. I have nothing to do with his work. I wouldn't have gone. And the risks, because of people in the population who might be inclined to take action on their own to harm me or members of my family, I would have sit this one out. But now it sounds like they're trying to say, look, we don't care if you come anywhere because you're rude for even coming for 24 hours. So don't come, and you're going to take this private jet and da 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 da. But it's interesting that Harry may, at the last minute, if they're right about this, he may at the last minute say, you know what, this is a bad idea and I'm not coming. That would be wow. That would be wow. I mean, let's wait and see. We still have a few days. Let's wait and see.